perfect American dad. He's an Army veteran, a devoted husband, a father of two. On weekends, he leads the local Boy Scout troop, and on Sundays, he stands at the pulpit as the president of his church council. To the outside world, Dennis Rader was the pillar of his community in Wichita, Kansas. He was a strict man, meticulously typing out rules for his neighborhood by day and his darkest fantasies by night. But beneath that boring suburban facade hid one of the most organized and ruthless monsters in American history. When the yellow police tape finally surrounded his property, the entire country gasped in horror because the true boogeyman wasn't hiding in the dark woods. He was mowing his lawn and waving at the neighbors. Between 1974 and 1991, the streets of Wichita were gripped by an invisible terror. Rader didn't just kill. He hunted. He would break into family homes, hiding in the shadows, waiting patiently for his victims to return. He didn't see them as people. He called his murders projects, meticulously planning every single detail. The most terrifying part? For years, Dennis Rader worked for ADT Security Services. He literally installed burglar alarms for families who were terrified of the very monster that was standing inside their living rooms. He held the keys to the city's safety. The most terrifying part? For years, Dennis Rader worked for ADT Security Services. He literally installed burglar alarms for families who were terrified of the very monster. That was standing inside their living rooms. He held the keys to the city's safety. Later, he worked as a compliance officer for the city, a petty, strict man who would measure the length of his neighbor's grass, while secretly keeping trophies from his victims hidden in his office. Rader didn't just want to kill. He was a narcissist. He craved the spotlight. In October 1974, a local newspaper, the Wichita Eagle, received a chilling letter. Inside, the writer confessed to his recent projects and promised more blood. He demanded a name. He wrote, "The code words for me will be bind them, torture them, kill them, BTK." For years, BTK taunted the police. He sent twisted poems, cryptic puzzles, and even drawings of his crime scenes. He played a sick game of cat and mouse, mocking the detectives for being too slow. But then, after 1991, silence. The BTK killer simply vanished. For over a decade, Wichita thought the monster was either dead or in prison for another crime. The truth was far more mundane. Rader had simply gotten older, and his family responsibilities finally got in the way. He just didn't have the time to plan his intricate projects anymore. But serial killers have one fatal flaw. arrogance. In 2004, a local newspaper published an article about the 30th anniversary of the BTK murders. Rader, furious that people were forgetting his legacy, decided it was time to come out of retirement. He resumed his letters, but times had changed, and technology had moved on. In January 2005, BTK wanted to send a message to the police via a floppy disk, but he wasn't sure if it was safe. He actually placed a classified ad in the newspaper asking the police, "Can a floppy disk be traced?" The police answered in another ad, "No, it is safe." He believed them. It was the biggest mistake of his life. Digital forensics instantly pulled deleted metadata from the disk. The last saved user was named Dennis, and the document was registered to the Christ Lutheran Church. A quick internet search gave them the president of that church, Dennis Rader. After matching a DNA sample from his daughter, police arrested Rader in February 2005. He was literally just driving home for lunch. He was sentenced to 10 consecutive life terms, a minimum of 175 years behind bars. If his double life sounds terrifyingly familiar, it is. The infamous Trinity Killer from the hit TV show Dexter was heavily inspired by Rader, a prominent church member, a family man, and a ritualistic killer. It proves once again that the most terrifying monsters don't live under our beds. They live right next door.